Welcome to a new tutorial. My name is Andy, and in this tutorial number 10 we are going to look at viewport stretching or viewport zooming. So if we play our game at a resolution of 800 by 600, we have our normal view zoom that we know from before. But if we decrease the resolution now or increase the resolution, we want to keep the same zoom level of our camera. Let's say we have 400 to 300. You will now see that the game doesn't zoom and we have less to see. So this is what we will cover here, and we will also create touch buttons which can be used on a mobile device, and they will also be stretched and zoomed to the proper resolution. Okay, to start that we will create a new script which will be a global script. This script can be accessed from everywhere, and therefore we will go to the resources tab here, create a new resource, and let's type in script and create a script. This will extend from a normal node, extends node, and we will create the ready function. And to see if something happens, we will just print something. Now, how can we access this script? If we press F5, nothing will happen. You see, there's nothing printed. Therefore, we will go to the project settings and then auto load. Here we will create a new variable name, which is called global, and assign the script, which we have to save before. Now we will select the script here and just say save as, go into scripts, and call it global.gd. Save. Now let's go to the project settings and select that script here. And now we will add it. Now you see that the global script is attached to the list here, and this means that it will be loaded on startup. So let's try it. You will start the engine and you see something is printed. Okay, now how do we get the resolution of our current screen? Therefore we will go to the help here and just search for viewport, and you see here we have viewport get viewport rect, and this is the function we need. So viewport rect can be accessed in canvas item, and canvas item is almost any node here. So how do we get that now? First of all, you will create a function, a variable, which is called viewport scale, and this will be used as multiplier later. And now we will get the viewport. We'll create a new variable, and now we say get node. And if you want to get to our very first node, because we have an invisible node, this is also above this world node here, which is called root, we have to type in root, and now we can also access world. So let's see if it works. Print viewport. Oh, sorry. Port.get name, and now we should see the name world here. So let's try it. Okay. We have to close the brackets. Now see world is printed. So our very first node is the root node, which is not visible here, and we can access it with /root. This slash is very important, and our global script is also attached to root. So we can now just say global, and let's see what happens. And you see that global is printed. So, and we have to get this canvas item here, and from there we can run our function, which is called viewport rect. Okay, so we write get root, and now we will get the children, because we want to be independent from that name here. And now we will say get it with an array here with that index. So this must be number 1. Now let's see what is printed. World is printed, so this is correct. And we can say get viewport rect. And if we have a viewport rect here, we can also access this the resolution with size. So we say dot size. And if we print it now, let's see what happens. We get the resolution, which is 400 by 300. Okay. Now the viewport scale. We have set up our game for a resolution of 800 by 600. Now let's change it again back to 800 by 600. And this is how we have created our game. And this will be a reference, this 800 resolution. So you'll always scale to the Y value here, and the X values will be increased. Okay, and to do that, we will now say viewport scale equals 800 divided by viewport dot y, and this will give us a value. So let's print it. Viewport underscore scale, and it is now 1.333. Oh, sorry, not by 800, by 600. So because this resolution is 600. So currently it is 1. So there is no scaling. But if we decrease our resolution to, let's say, 400 and 300, oops, and we press the game, we have a resolution or a scale with, by 2. And this is now going to be used. Now let's see. We have our player, and there we have our camera. And the camera has a function which is called set zoom. And this function we will use to set the zoom of our camera. So we go into our player script and now go into the ready function. Now let's get the camera, get node. So camera is our first node here. So we just type in camera 2D. And now we say set zoom. Now currently we have already a zoom of 2 by 2, and we don't want to overwrite it, but multiply our new value. So we say on top of that, so we say set zoom, now get zoom, multiplied by this value here. So how do we get that value? Pretty easy. As already said, we can access the root node with get node root, and now we just say global, and in that global function or object we have our property which is called viewport scale. So we just say dot viewport underscore scale and close the brackets. So, and that's it. So if we now start the game, you see our resolution or our zoom reset automatically. So we can now use any resolution. It will always set the zoom properly, so we have always the same view to our character. So we can just try it. Let's say 2080 by 600, and it will always use the height of our resolution. So you see, we always see the same height, and on the sides it will just add new space. So this works. Awesome. Now next we are going to create touch controls for our character, and this will be used with a new node, and we will just define it. Okay, so we will now create a canvas layer, because we don't want the touch controls to be in our scene. they always have to be on top of our scene, and therefore we will create a new node, which is a canvas layer. So where is it? Just go into 2D nodes. Here's the parallax layer. Okay, just type in layer, and we'll see what we will get here. Okay, we will create this, this canvas item. Sorry. Okay, here's the canvas layer. I needed to look it up. I didn't find it immediately, so we will add this canvas layer. We will select the world node and now say canvas layer. And in that canvas layer, let's call it GUI. We will add our controls. So now let's type in touch, and we'll add this touch screen button. So, and we will assign a texture to it. I have set up a few textures, which you can see here. This is for jumping, left, right movement, and this we will set up. So let's call it left and add the sprite. So left. Now let's add the pressed state. This will be right. Sorry. Left pressed. Duplicate it. This will be right. And this will be right pressed. Okay. Unfortunately, we cannot test it here because it doesn't support touchscreen inputs, but you can test it on your device. It's pretty simple to set it up here because if we go to our input maps, we have created our actions here, which have certain names. And these actions we access in our script, or we run them. And you see that we have this action field here. And there you just have to type in the action name. So for left and right we have btn right and btn left. So in our case, this will be btn right, and this will be btn left. And that's it. If we start our game now, press it on our touch screen, this should work. Unfortunately, we cannot test it here, but this doesn't matter. Okay, now we will set it up properly. We will create a new node, which will be left inputs. This will be the inputs on our left side. We will parent the buttons to it, and we will set them here. So, and what we will do now is we will set our node always in that corner and scale it. So our usual scale, just have to set it now, and this is done here. Let's say .2. Oh, this is too small. And you just have to try it out, which is the best size for your touchscreen device. And now we will set this the position, and this will be done with a script. We will call it or touchscreen buttons.gd under scripts, and here we will set the position. So we have our viewport scale, and we will now create a new variable, viewport resolution, and just copy that. So dot size and this will be accessed here. So we will set our node at certain at that position. So we just say get node left inputs, set pos. Now we say get node root global, and here we have viewport res, and the x value will always be 0, so we create a new vector which is called vector2. So x is 0 and y is the resolution of that viewport. So we will say dot y, close it, and now let's see if it works. Okay, it doesn't work. So left inputs is here. Let's see if the script runs. Okay, test does run. Invalid viewport res. Okay, this does work. Of course we have to say root. So I forgot that slash here, and now let's see if it works. Okay, awesome. So you see our controls are at the corner here on the left side, and now we just have to set the scale. So we say inputs set scale. We will get the scale and multiply it with our scale value. Viewport scale. So in this case it will stay that size, and if we change the resolution, oh, okay, we have to divide it. Sorry. Okay, now you see that works. So it will always zoom to our resolution, and that works. Okay, now let's finally create the right inputs. This will be the jump button. Right inputs. Let's create a touchscreen button and assign the textures. So jump, and this will also be jump pressed. Now let's reposition that node here to the corner and set the scale. So what was the scale here? It is 0.4. Okay. Now let's do the same for our right inputs. And let's try it. Okay, it doesn't. Oh, of course we have to set the X position also, and this will be 300. So we just take our viewport resolution, and as you see it almost works, and here we have also to set right inputs. Okay, and it works. So as you can see, our touchscreen buttons always scale and set to the proper position. Now let's change our resolution to 800 to 600 again, and that's it. Okay, I think we are done for this tutorial. We have now created a zoom camera that always sets the zoom to a proper size, and added this touchscreen buttons. Unfortunately we cannot test them here, but this should work as I said already, this will be btn jump, of course, and you can use it on your mobile device. I hope you liked the tutorial, and if you did, please share it with other people, give me a thumbs up, and I hope I see you in my next tutorials. Thanks for watching.